Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Enderal. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today here with Jaspar, as he asked us why we're working for the Order. He didn't put it quite as ominously as that, quite as bluntly as that, but I'm not, now that I said it out loud, I'm sort of questioning his motives, or his... I'm not really sure. Also, the night is falling, so we're gonna spend all night having a chat with him. Let's see, if this cleansing is real, we're in this together. Yeah, it's a good question. Oh, I don't think there's anything that drives me. I'm just playing by ear. Let's go with this one. Good question, I'm still trying to find the answer. And he probably is gonna like that as well.
Huh, I figure. In any case, it's interesting to see how you've gotten from being a magically gifted refugee to the center of all this. Kind of reminds me of a woman I used to travel with. Alicia. No matter where she went, she always ended up in the eye of the storm. That was 13 years ago now. By the wise hermit, time really is merciless.
Yep. How'd you end up traveling with her?
We got hired for the same job. Usually I work better on my own, but this partnership was refreshing in every aspect. It felt good to know someone's got your back for a change, especially with the kind of work I do. Which is why we decided to stick together after that first job. And it went great, at least initially. She was just too intense. That's the right word for it. She wanted everything, and she wanted it at once. The rarest jewels, the most handsome men, the best contracts. If you would have asked her to steal the Golden Queen's crown, she would have done it without hesitation, just for the thrill of it.
And you weren't up for that? I mean, when somebody said she was intense, you know, when he said that, I thought that she basically flipped on him, like, at the slightest thing, or just would take any hint of anything as a full-on declaration. Because that's what it kind of sounds like. She wasn't intense, she was ambitious. And you didn't... So I take it you were a couple?
We traveled together, and we had sex, so yes, according to most people's definition of it, we were a couple.
I suppose not, then. For how long did you work together?
That was... let me think. About 3 years. Yeah. We went to Araziel, Kira, Artwend, and one time we even fought a group of Petrified on Millet. She fought as ardently as she lived. I don't know how I would have survived that fight without her.
Yeah, well, just half the team since she's not there. Sounds like she wasn't too different from you, though.
Oh, yes, she was. I love a good adventure and earthly pleasures, but I can cope without them. I could always tell a difficult job from a reckless one, and that's kept me alive. Alicia pretty much lived by one principle. The more extreme the job, the better. With that attitude, I guess it was obvious that things would go south eventually. One way or the other.
He might be misrepresenting what she is doing, because, like, nobody lives like that. I mean, yeah, you can talk about it like that, but no, that's not what it is. If the more extreme the job, the better. What? Are you gonna just do this instead of doing any job? You always gonna do it like doing, well, you know, doing the, what's the word when you stand on your hands with your feet up? Just because that's more extreme. Are you gonna do it while playing the flute and standing on our hands? That's more extreme. And on fire. Yeah, while eating a pig at the same time as you play the flute. And on fire. And on your feet. Wait, the opposite. Your hands. Right? So, there must be something else. There must be another principle. I mean, then to him, maybe it seemed like she was just too reckless. What happened to her?
Well, she started expecting more from our partnership. Our talks and the occasional sex. As she saw it, you either go all the way or you don't go at all.
You didn't get the third base? What? Which? He was more of a cuddly guy. He just wanted to spoon.
I wasn't ready for that.
Oh. So... Oh, wait. Ah. Aw. I was interpreting this whole thing much better than it turns out to be. That's just basically she fell in love with him and he didn't love her back. That is so, can you get more commonplace than that? Cause like, I really thought that she was just, he didn't, you know, want to have as much sex as they apparently were having, even though he said occasionally. But I don't know. He's pretty obsessed with that. Not obsessed. I mean, I didn't ask, and he said it twice already. So yeah, because I thought that you know, it affected him, and he didn't want as much. Maybe that's what was going on. Nope, they had to go commonplace. So she was in love with you?
Love as she defined it, yeah. Had it been for her, we would have married after that first night.
So she wasn't in love with you, and she just wanted to marry. Because apparently his definition of love is different from hers, and he immediately says that she wanted to marry him, which sounds to me like he doesn't agree with that, and that's her definition of love. What was it that you wanted?
That's a long story. Not one that puts me in a favorable light. At least if you like most people. Let's save that for another time.
Oh. So, you two split up?
Split up. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But anyway, enough about me. What about you?
This wasn't about you.
Has there ever been someone in your life?
It was about her.
Or have you always been the lone wolf?
Yeah. There was.
I see. Maybe you can tell me about that one day.
Oh, come on.
I'd love to hear it. I, for one, have had enough drama to last me a lifetime. Sex
Third
is fine,
time.
but I guess I'm just not naive enough for anything else anymore. Love, love, love. People have such wrong-headed expectations, really. Sometimes I think it would help us all to finally admit that there isn't that much that separates us from the apes. Anyway, why don't you tell me a little more about this trial?
You think the other apes don't
you passed
love?
it together with that quiet girl, Kalia. What's she like?
Kalia.
I've heard some stories about her.
Oh, fade to black. I wish I could tell him about her and tell him what I feel.
That's just life, I think.
'Cause
there comes a point when you've done all you can. My. We've certainly lost track of time, haven't we?
I didn't.
I really need to hit the hay for a couple of hours now. I'll have to go look for some new work tomorrow. And I've heard about a nobleman who's looking for a sellsword. That is, if Herenthiel or old Bushybeard doesn't have a new job for me by then. Say what you want about them. Their pay is beyond generous. I'll see you around, fair lady.
You as well? Yeah, and now that I think about it, our first encounter in a bar where he had a room and we drank would have fit completely if he had just gone with, I didn't want to have as much sex as she wanted. Because he doesn't seem very forward. So, you know, for a person who talks 3 times about sex in this place...
Huh?
No, shut up. Anyway, we got a quest, didn't we? No, we completed the quest. Okay, that's pretty awesome. Now we can do this. And actually, I probably should save just in case. In case this all disappears and die. Well, actually, it's bad. If it does, yeah. But I have gotten a new recording setup, so I'm good to go. Yeah, I shouldn't have corruptions anymore of the recording. Oh, I thought this was a teleport. Oh, this is the teleporter. Okay. Auto-saving. Auto-magic saving. Let's go to the Sun Temple, because that's where we need to go. Kalia was up there. Yeah, he's an interesting character. It really was. The conversation really wasn't about him. He was talking about her all the time, and she sounded interesting. She sounded very interesting, actually. He made her seem like she had a death wish, which, you know, is the easiest, tropiest as well, but the easiest, I'm not really against it, but easiest thing to make, to write a character, having them have a death wish, and there you go. You have the interest of the viewer or the player, and you have an interesting character, because there's drama and there's things. Some of my favorite characters have death wishes. Especially in anime, now that I think about it. What's his name? I don't remember his name. Spike, I think? Also Shimal. If you know where they are from, then yeah. If you don't, or if you're... Nah, they didn't have a death wish. It's not those characters. I might be misremembering Spike, though. I think he had a death wish. I'm pretty sure he did. That's Cowboy Bebop. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool way of writing a character. Anyway, we're here. Main quest. Don't you dare tell me to walk by. Don't you freaking dare. I mean, tell me that instead of the, oh, I know you. You work for the Order.
The Prodigy.
Huh? Oh my god, that's even
this
worse.
Is too dangerous. Whatever they want here.
Oh, actually, I'm not gonna allow that. What just happened? People talking at the same time? Actually, wait a minute. I can do an amazing thing. There you go.
This is too dangerous, whatever they want here. If we send spies and they get caught, Nerim will see this as a provocation.
Poor, poor people. All they did was invade a foreign country, and look how ruthless we are, sending spies in order to find out why they're here. We should be ashamed.
Save the sarcasm. We both know what I mean. You know my opinion, Tila.
I will consider it.
Are you feeling all right? He's not feeling all right. Let him be. Okay, let's go down through here.
You come at the right time, Prophetess.
Hi.
Commander, explain the situation.
Of course, Grandmaster. Yesterday, we received word from one of our outposts in Duneville. One of the fishermen there saw warships anchoring on an island some miles from shore. And they bear the Nerimese flag.
We have already sent scouts to confirm this, and it is true. The Nerimese have invaded our land.
I figured. It's an act of war, isn't it? Why should they do this? I mean, besides war.
We have a suspicion. I suppose you know that the civil war in Nerim has ended 2 months ago. And who won it?
I don't know. Who?
The combined forces of the Northern and the Middle Realm, led by Taranor Korek of Kabait. The Southern rebels and the remnants of the Creator's Temple have been destroyed, once and for all. Now Nerim has been united under the banner of the Free People of Nerim, how they like to call themselves, and this could be the reason for these warships.
But why? Why should Nerim risk another war? Start another war just after ending one. A civil war at that.
Because of this Koarek.
It is said that he helped Narathzul Aranthiel shortly before the Lightborn were slain. And while before that, he was an opportunist who changed his ideals as often as his underpants. It seems that his crusade with Narathzul converted him, so to speak. He has become a declared enemy of religion.
He also thinks of the death of the gods as the first step of many. And now he sees it his task to rid Vin of religion once and for all. Free the world from the scourge of faith. These are his words.
Though it is worth mentioning that his understanding of freeing includes mass executions and the burning down of temples. He's a fanatic, and worse, his men worship him for it.
Oh, look at
What
her.
he wants is to found a new world, and his free people of Nerim are supposed to be vanguard of it.
I mean, I got that the moment he said free people on Nerim, I understood that they are indeed against all gods and religion and faith. It's sort of unfortunate that they use real word terms to represent this. Like, in the faith, maybe like in Crusade in particular, the Crusade kind of works. It's not a crusade and it's not a church because those are Christian terms. They're it's like calling it a jihad. It's the same thing. Don't call it a jihad because that's a Muslim term, and don't call it a mosque. That's one. Don't call it a mosque because that's a Muslim term. But anyway, isn't this pretty much the same thing your order once stood for? Actually, it isn't. What? The stupid question. I mean, I'm gonna go ask it though. A world free of religious thinking. Wait a minute. His order. Oh yeah, it is. That's interesting, actually. Oh, I mean, they didn't kill anybody, but well.
Well, with the small but subtle difference that it was Narazul's vision to restore the human right of self-determination, and not to obliterate every kind of superstition or spirituality.
It is plain stupid to believe a way of thinking can be beaten out of someone's head with just enough violence.
Yeah.
The only thing that does is radicalize. Though a world without religion would be a better one, that's without doubt.
Is it?
Nonsense.
Yeah,
the people
nonsense.
need a higher power that guides them.
Well,
You can
not
see
that.
what chaos the death of the Lightborn brought on the world. And without your orders doing, all this would never have happened.
Okay.
Of course.
Can I get a word in?
Where were we?
Can I get a word in? So first off, it's not about ways of thinking. It's a fact. These gods existed. They were a thing, right? Can I get a backing here? I can't. These guys. Yeah, it's a fact. Don't mess. Yeah, don't. I don't know why they do this though. I had this. The first game that dealt with this with a situation like this, at least with the Godless that I played, I was like 21, I think at the time. Let's see, it was back in 2008. So yeah, 21. That'd be. And I didn't have a full understanding of everything. But it's a fantastic game, so that's why I'm talking about it. It's called Mask of the Betrayer. It's an expansion pack. It's actually the sequel to Neverwinter Nights 2, or it's a continuation anyway. And it's a fantastic game, and it definitely set the bar for dealing with this stuff. What they're talking about, they're acting as if religion is a matter of choice. It's not a matter of choice. You can't choose the gods that exist. I can't say, well, the Lightborn never existed in the first place. That's not my choice. But in real life, and specifically in the terms that they're talking about, that is a matter of choice, one that we must respect. That's why it's called freedom of religion. And in a way, it's sort of interesting just to juxtapose that to the freedom that they're asking for, where it is more the freedom of the self-determination. Which I guess works well. It's not the most ideal, or it's not the best way of making a story, but it is a story and it works well, what he said. But it's not about opinion. It's not about perspectives. It's about the gods you follow. Look at, going back to Mask of the Betrayer, you can see that it's a Dungeons and Dragons setting. It's a Forgotten Realms setting, rather, using the Dungeons and Dragons rule set, and that's, nobody's, and nowhere in the Forgotten Realms people go, oh, Helm doesn't exist. You're wrong in believing Helm exists. It's not even going to help you. And yeah, people worshipped Helm, and going through their whole lives, in the Forgotten Realms setting, going through their whole lives without ever having an apparition or anything, or Helm even giving them a blessing, let alone anything else, because blessings existed. But it was in practical terms, it was a similar situation. What doesn't work is trying to pretend that it is a matter of, oh, Helm doesn't exist, or in this case, the Lightborn didn't exist. I don't know. It's just more of the language that they're using, not so much what they are actually doing. They want to kill the gods, which is interesting. So I don't know what these guys have. I don't know why they would attack us though, because our gods are dead. It's all your fault, isn't it? They think they want to kill the gods. Oh, the game broke. Let's see what I can do here. I'll figure it out. I'll fix it. Don't worry. Okay, so yeah, what I was thinking is that maybe what the Nerimis want to do is to kill the Lightborn. The one that this guy pretends are still alive, and they're not. Also, it is really weird that this dude over here said, right at the beginning, I just had to replay the dialogue, so what they said at the beginning is that sending spies would be seen as a provocation. A provocation? They have invaded you. There's no provocation here. There's just, you need to kill them all, the ones that are here anyway, or at least, kill them all might be a little bit of a overreaction. Depends on how aggressive they are, of course. You need to at least capture them and sort of sell them for a peace treaty or something. I don't know what you want. It's all a matter of decision. Anyway, what else is there to know about this correct dude?
Not much. Or, yes, there is. He's a narcissist. I was surprised to hear that the banners of his free people are ornamented with a picture of his and an inscription saying, "Praise me."
That's interesting. I'm not going to take the game seriously enough to draw conclusions from that narcissism, but in real life, you would. Let me guess. You suspect the Korek is here because the Enderalians still believe the gods are alive, correct?
Correct.
What Korek doesn't understand is that we're doing this to prevent a crisis.
Yeah, or maybe he does, and he wants to create the crisis. I'm just conjecturing here. Simply telling the common people the truth is out of question?
Not before the High Ones have been stopped. The civil war on Kile, Nerim, and Arazial shows what chaos such a revelation can cause. And we will not take this risk.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. You're a flawed ruler. I like that in the writing. What if we explain our motivations to Korek, though? Maybe he can even help us fight the cycle?
That is the problem. Pigast?
We believe that Korek already knows about the cycle and the cleansing.
Yeah.
And that he, how should I put it, wants it to happen.
Well, I was right in what I said before. That he's, yeah. So he wants it to happen. How the heck can someone want the extinction of all life to happen? Well, is it? Because, is it? All life? Okay. I think it is sort of a Dwemer extinction event where people just disappear. You know, that's what we're talking about here. Not, I don't know.
Well, I know how strange this sounds, but in a way it makes sense.
What?
For him, Enderal as the home of the Holy Order is the epitome of ignorance and stagnation. And we suppose he even knows that we are fighting these High Ones. But in his eyes, everything a paragon of the old order tries to prevent from happening must be something good. Maybe he even sees the High Ones as prophets of his new era. Who knows? Fanatics are unpredictable.
Right now, this is only an assumption, but we have to know.
Well, if it's an assumption... Anyway. Oh. What are you doing now? What are you doing? What is he doing? Do we have to know? Look at me so silent in here as well. Hey. Aw. Do we have to know? Well.
Right now, this is only an assumption, but we have to know.
Whatever that was. In other words, that W shouldn't be capitalized. We need to spy on the Neramis, as you were saying when I arrived from there.
Yes. Do you know what a silver plate is?
A plate made of silver?
The ones I'm talking about are more. They are relics from Arctvent. What makes them unique is their power to transfer sound. Every plate has a counterpart, and if someone standing near one plate says something, the one standing near the other one hears it too.
That makes more sense.
Our plan is to place 2 of the plates in their camp. That way we can sound them out without risk.
Because literally everything transfers sound. If there's things, they vibrate. Because that's what sound is. And you want me to do this placing? Don't you?
You, Firespark, and the mercenary, Dalvarek. However, you cannot travel to the island by ship. That would be too conspicuous.
We found out that the Pyreans had some kind of underground transporting system. Undertrains, that's what they called them. These trains connected the most important regions of the realm with each other, and thus probably also the temple on the island where Korek's ships set anchor. If we can manage to find one of these trains, we could use them to get right to his camp. And, as it happens, we have information about a Pyrean temple in the Crystal Forest. One that is still intact enough for us to find a way into one of these trains.
The Living Temple.
That's how you call it, yes. But enough of the chit-chat. First of all, we need to find the gem that is used to open the gate of the temple. And I have a guess where we could find it. A village called Fogville.
Been there.
Not far from the Whisperwood.
No problem. I've done that. When do we set out?
As soon as possible. Joseph the mercenary has already traveled to Fogville, and you should do the same. I will meet you there.
Joseph the
So
mercenary.
we're talking about accomplished facts, or what?
It is the only way.
Accomplished
I'm
facts.
sorry, Natara. Prophetess, I'm
What?
counting on you. Find
Sure.
out why Korek is here.
Okay, sounds good to me. What is an accomplished fact? What do you think a fact is? I don't know what... She's weird. But she said what she said was right, though. That the gods are here for guidance. Basically, the Red Plague is probably all because the gods died? I don't know. And not just the Red Plague as well. Maybe the cycle itself. Hey, can I... Hi. So you're the commander of the guard, aren't you?
I am. Why do you ask?
Because he said you were the commander of the guard.
Yes, that makes sense.
I'm not gonna ask. Hi.
Walk blessed, prophetess.
So, oh, I asked
Yes.
this before.
Why do you ask?
Man, those lines, I've asked that twice, I think, already. Bless you. Oh, hi. Hey.
Walk blessed.
Oh, I thought you were somebody else. Okay, well, we have a mission to do. We have to go into the deep, meet Jaspar and Constantine in Fogville, and that's why it stopped him from waiting for me for months on end out in the Watchtower. And we're out of time for the day, so we're gonna have to meet him again next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Enderal. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Excuse it, that was a hiccup. Bye-bye. Dang it.
Just dead. We know how this is going to end.